The end of dollar dominance in international trades. Welcome to a world where the balance of power is shifting, and the once mighty dollar is facing its most significant challenge yet. In this video, we will explore the factors that are signaling the end of dollar dominance in international trades. Join us on this journey as we unravel the economic landscape of the future. To understand the end, we must first comprehend the beginning. After World War II, the United States emerged as a superpower and established the dollar as the world's reserve currency during the Bretton Woods Conference. This move solidified the dollar's dominance in global trade, making it the de facto currency for international transactions.
At Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, delegates from 44 allied and associate countries arrived for the opening of the United Nations Monetary and Financial Conference. Invited by President Roosevelt to the first major world financial meeting since the London Conference of 1933, they will work in the seclusion of this White Mountains resort. Zhang Shi-kung, one of China's representatives, with Secretary and Mrs. Henry Morgenthau. United States Treasury Secretary Morgenthau heads the American delegation. On the opening day, in his role of acting conference president, he addresses the meeting. To be discussed are plans for the stabilization of world currencies. All agreements must be ratified by the governing bodies of the nations involved before becoming effective. Delegates to this monetary and financial conference pose on the hotel lawn. These meetings are designed to promote trade in the post-war world and to create a foundation for lasting peace.
It had the potential to establish a solid groundwork for enduring peace, but unfortunately, that vision never materialized. Instead, it marked the onset of an era characterized by incessant conflicts and ongoing warfare. However, the global economic landscape has transformed dramatically. Emerging economies, like BRICS, have risen to challenge the hegemony of the dollar. The European Union has strengthened its own currency, the euro, and aims to reduce dependence on the dollar. These developments, coupled with shifting geopolitical dynamics, pose significant challenges to the dollar's long-standing supremacy. Dedollarization refers to the process of reducing the use of the United States dollar, USD, in a country's economy, typically as a medium of exchange, unit of account, or store of value. There are several reasons why countries may pursue de-dollarization. Reducing dependence on the U.S. economy, some countries may choose to de-dollarize to decrease their vulnerability to the economic policies and fluctuations of the United States. Relying heavily on the U.S. dollar can expose a country to risks associated with the strength or weakness of the U.S. economy, monetary policy decisions made by the U.S. Federal Reserve, or trade disputes involving the U.S. Reducing exchange rate volatility, countries that extensively use the U.S. dollar may experience exchange rate volatility as their currency value becomes more closely tied to the value of the USD. De-dollarization can be seen as a way to regain control over their own currency and reduce exposure to external factors. Promoting monetary policy independence, by reducing the reliance on the U.S. dollar, countries gain greater flexibility in implementing their own monetary policies. Depending on the extent of dollarization, a country may find it challenging to manage its domestic economy effectively due to the influence of U.S. monetary policy. De-dollarization allows countries to tailor their policies to suit their specific economic needs. Enhancing financial stability, in some cases, de-dollarization can be pursued to mitigate financial risks and enhance stability. If a country experiences excessive capital flows denominated in U.S. dollars, it can lead to vulnerabilities, such as currency mismatches, financial imbalances, and potential crises. De-dollarization efforts aim to reduce these risks and maintain a more stable financial system. Encouraging regional integration and trade, de-dollarization can be part of efforts to promote regional integration and trade among neighboring countries. By adopting a common regional currency or reducing dependence on the U.S. dollar, countries can facilitate trade, eliminate currency exchange costs, and promote economic cooperation within the region. Geopolitical considerations. De-dollarization can also be driven by geopolitical considerations. Some countries may seek to assert their independence and reduce their reliance on the United States as a dominant global power. Dedollarization can be seen as a way to diversify away from the USD and increase economic and political autonomy. It's important to note that de-dollarization is a complex and gradual process that requires careful planning and implementation. Countries may adopt various strategies, such as promoting the use of their own currency, entering currency swap agreements, diversifying currency reserves, or developing regional payment systems to facilitate de-dollarization. The motivations for de-dollarization can vary depending on the specific circumstances and objectives of each country. Cryptocurrencies have the potential to contribute to the process of de-dollarization in several ways. Dedollarization refers to a reduction in the dominance of the US dollar as the primary global reserve currency. Here are a few ways cryptocurrencies can contribute to this process. Diversification of reserve holdings. Central banks around the world hold foreign reserves, typically denominated in major currencies such as the US dollar. Cryptocurrencies provide an alternative asset class that is independent of traditional fiat currencies. By diversifying their reserve holdings with cryptocurrencies, central banks can reduce their dependence on the US dollar and decrease dollarization. International payments. Cryptocurrencies can facilitate cross-border transactions, eliminating the need for intermediaries such as banks and reducing reliance on the US dollar for international settlements. They enable peer-to-peer transactions across borders with faster settlement times and lower transaction costs compared to traditional banking systems. As more cryptocurrencies gain acceptance and liquidity, they offer an alternative to the US dollar for international payments. Financial inclusion. Cryptocurrencies can provide financial services to individuals and businesses that have limited access to traditional banking systems. In many developing countries, the US dollar is often used as a parallel currency due to its stability compared to the local currency. However, cryptocurrencies can provide an alternative means of transacting and storing value, reducing dependence on the US dollar. Hedging against economic sanctions. Economic sanctions imposed by the United States can have significant impacts on countries that heavily rely on the US dollar for international trade. Cryptocurrencies offer a way to bypass these sanctions as they operate independently of traditional banking systems and can facilitate peer-to-peer transactions. Countries facing sanctions can turn to cryptocurrencies as a means to maintain their economic activities outside the reach of the US dollar-dominated financial system. Countries are actively diversifying their foreign exchange reserves, entering into bilateral trade agreements, and exploring alternative settlement mechanisms. Currency swaps and the development of blockchain technology are providing viable alternatives to traditional currency transactions, diminishing the need for the dollar. The decline of dollar dominance extends beyond economics and has geopolitical ramifications. As countries seek to assert their influence, the global power balance is shifting. Political alliances are forming, and economic blocs are emerging. These dynamics create a multipolar world where no single currency reigns supreme. While the end of dollar dominance brings uncertainty, it also presents opportunities. It encourages innovation, fosters competition, and promotes fairer trade practices. Businesses and individuals must adapt to the changing landscape, diversify their holdings, and explore new markets. As one era ends, a new one begins. In this journey, we've explored the factors leading to the end of dollar dominance in international trades. The rise of emerging economies, geopolitical shifts, and evolving global dynamics are reshaping the world order. It's crucial for individuals, nations, and businesses to stay informed, adapt, and navigate this transformative era. As the era of the dollar draws to a close, a new chapter of economic history is waiting to be written. Thank you for joining us on this enlightening exploration. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video to spread awareness of the shifting tides in international trade. Together, we can navigate this changing world and embrace the opportunities that lie ahead.